Hello, this is Josh with the Comic Book Collecting Quest, and today's or I should say this week's comic book report starts with Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Number 61. This is from November of 2015. We start off here with Velma testifying in a criminal case against somebody who dressed up as a monster. And then we get a ghost appearing in the courtroom. But Velma is the only one that sees the ghost, and she's kind of freaking out, and people flee the courtroom. And of course, Mystery Inc. is forced to solve this this case. And this guy was, like I said, they were testifying against him. And he's trying to say that Mr. Inc. is all crazy and they're seeing stuff. Velma keeps seeing this monster or ghost. And she gets her glasses knocked off by a frightened Scooby and Shaggy. And she puts her glasses back on and doesn't see the ghost anymore. But Daphne puts her glasses on and sees the ghost. And then she knows that the ghost image was already implanted on the glasses. And then we learn the defense attorney for this guy had done a switcheroo with Velma's glasses. And we solve that case. This next one, this is like a school teacher. And she's grading her papers. Her husband goes for a walk. And then the ghost of John Wilkes Booth comes back to haunt her. So she hires Mystery Inc. to solve this case. Tells them about John Wilkes Booth, the ghost of John Wilkes Booth, visiting her. And so the husband goes for a walk, and here comes John Wilkes Booth again. So we kind of think maybe it's the husband for some reason. But then Velma sees that he's got plastic buttons. And then he gets knocked out by the door. And then we find out it was just one of this teacher's students, because him and a buddy had not studied for the test. But then she reveals you did so much character study on John Wilkes Booth that you would have probably passed the test. And, instead, you do realize, of course, that with all the knowledge you displayed while impersonating Booth, you could have easily passed the exam. Instead, both you and Taylor have a week of detention and a 20-page paper on John Wilkes Booth to write instead. Oh, and this is a good bit. Shaggy and his jaw stretcher sandwiches. And Scooby casts a spell on the sandwich and scares Shaggy away. And then Scooby decasts? I don't know. He chased the spirit out of the sandwich with another spell and was able to eat the sandwich. And that was it for this one. And this I give it a good. Yeah, it's good stuff. I enjoy these Scoobies. My daughter does too. That's why I read them. I read them to her, and yeah, she enjoys them. And moving on here to some DC romance. This is Young Love from November, December of 1943. This is Young Love number 40 from November, December of 1963. And in these, they always have this private diary of Mary Robin. This is always one of the RN. This is always one of the stories. So she's a nurse, and she's always nursing these guys back to life, and the patients fall in love with her. But then she also has this surgeon. What is his name? Bill Ames or something? Or Will? Anyway, his name's Will something. Yeah, Will Ames. And she's in love with him, but he's just wanting to have a good time. So it's pretty funny. It's just the 60s romance. I love it. So here they're kissing, and then she's, after that kiss, where do we go from here? And he's like, come on, Mary. You're not a silly little student who thinks every kiss leads to the altar. Why must you make a big deal of it? Because it's love. And then he's just having a good time. So funny. And then she switches with her nursing roommate. Apparently they live in some sort of nurse dormitory or something. I don't know. But she switches with her nurse roommate to get out of surgery so she can go work in the children's ward to get away from Will Ames. And that was end of part 1. Now we go to part 2, and she's on the beach trying to forget about the doctor and relaxing. And then she sees a man in trouble who's drowning 6 inches off of shore. And she goes and saves him and takes him back to the hospital. And she's still on the children's ward, but then she visits the drowning victim. But now he's fallen in love with her. How many other patients have fallen in love with you, Mary? Every patient falls in love with his nurse until he gets better. So here's her smooching with her patient, and he says that he loves her. I can't help but giggle. It's funny. And then here's Will Ames, SOB, doctor. And then we have this patient recuperating. He's still in love. And then now he's leaving the hospital. He's recouped, and I think he asked her to marry him or something. And then we have this is the cover here. You've been wonderful, Mary. Now I know why they say a patient can fall in love with his nurse. But can a nurse fall in love with her patient? The romantic private diary of Mary Robin, RN, will be continued in future exciting issues of Young Love. It's like so good. Oh, and this is a ridiculous story. I love it. So we have this jerk here who's got a summer fling with Judy here. Innocent Judy in this dress circa 1830. She's wearing it in the 60s. And they meet while she's on this inflatable in a lake or whatever, or ocean. And so we go along, and so she, where's this? This is the dorm. Okay, so he goes back to her dorm and then meets her roommate, My eyes followed Judy's glance and rested uneasily on a magnificent girl who, as a opposite from Judy as night from day. I'd like to meet her. He said, you'll like her. I like her too, only I'm a little afraid of her. And then it's Gay. Judy, or no, I guess that's her name, Gay. Okay, so Gay, I'm sure glad to meet you, Ted. I've been aching to dance to this record, will you? And I can only assume they're dancing to Wipeout. Yeah, that's, I assume. And so he's starting to fall for Gay here, and he's disappointed in Judy. But I wasn't about to leave Judy. I couldn't admit so fast that I could be so wrong about my summer love. If she'd get a little swing in her walk, if she'd act a little more sophisticated. With our coffee, I offered her a cigarette. I even insisted. What a jerk. Trying to get her strung out on smokes. I like my companion to smoke. It's more friendly that way. But I'm so bad at it. I don't know what being bad at smoking is, but yeah. She was right. Sorry I suggested she smoked. Can't do anything about it now. I'm glad you were frank with me, Ted. I'd do anything to please you. Perhaps you'll try heroin next week. Okay, sorry. And then he's disgusted by her because she can't smoke the way he wants her to smoke. And now he's out on a long walk. What will I do? I think I'm going to dump Judy. The kid is so square. Could I really be in love with her? And then, of course, he runs into the devil in disguise, Gay. And then, as to seal my fate, because she was good at smoking. And now he didn't sleep because he wanted to dump Judy. And then he goes back to Judy's dorm, and now she's listening. She's chilling and smoking. It better just be cigarettes you're smoking, Missy. And also listening to Wipeout. And, see, it's 63. Is that what this is? 63. So maybe it was the Beach Boys, right? 63? I think the Beatles were 64. I think it was, yeah, maybe, she could be listening to Bob Dylan. But I bet it's Wipeout. So he's like, he leaves her because she's like being fake. And then he decides he wants to go hook up with Gay. There's Gay, stunning, sophisticated Gay. And the rest of them just as stunning and sophisticated. But then he realizes that perhaps he doesn't like stunning and sophisticated. He loves Judy. So now he goes back to Judy and tells her, hey, by the way, you didn't have to smoke. Sorry about that. But try this. It's called heroin. The end. And now we have Jane Ford sees it. Yeah, I'll just read one of these. These are great. Dear Miss Ford, I am only 12 years old, but there is a boy who likes me a lot, and he keeps asking me to go out with him. He is 13. My friends all want me to go out with him, but I'm not sure whether I want to or not. He smokes and is a very reckless driver. What do you think? He's 13. Things were different in the 60s. Dear Too Young, since you feel you are too young, I have no qualms about agreeing with you. But regardless of your age, I doubt that a boy who smokes at the age of 13 and drives recklessly would be a good date. No reckless driver is a good date. It's easy for your friends to urge you to date him because they are not looking beyond their noses at the possible consequences. They are not the ones who will get hurt if there's an accident. You are. But now that you have my advice, you might seek the advice of the best authority of all, your parents or guardians. What do they think of you dating this boy? I'd ask them and follow their advice. Their advice and your own conscience. Thanks, Jane. Oh, and then here, this next one. The power of love. That's where Huey Lewis got the idea. The story. Okay, I'm sure it's not. I'm lying. Okay, so this one is this girl is, I guess, she's ugly and she's got a super hot sister, fiery redhead thing. And so she's playing tennis with this guy, and it's her sister's boyfriend. But then this other guy comes and wants to play tennis with her and tells her, I should have known you're the beautiful Matthews girl I've heard so much about. No, I'm the other Matthews girl. The beautiful one is my sister Judith. Impossible, and don't argue with an expert. Let's play tennis instead. Nice. Very smooth. He's a smooth operator. Now they go swimming, kissing. The victor claims his prize. And they're on some, I guess it's a dock. And then she goes on a date with him. And throughout the date, he's looking at her sister, and she's like, oh, great, it's over. He wants my sister, doesn't want me. And so then his sister and her date comes over, and he's like, I thought I recognized you. After a few questions, Bill and Chris discovered that they went to the same summer camp when they were little boys. So it wasn't her sister that he was staring at, it was her boyfriend? That's weird, but whatever. It's the 60s. And what's this? Oh, and this is the subscription to, you can get Girls' Romances, Girls' Love, Heartthrobs, Falling in Love, Secret Hearts, Young Love, and Young Romance. Yeah, sorry, I was just reading that. So there you go. You get 2 years worth of it. What a deal. And then you can, back here, you can get the Genuine Debutante pen. It gives just the right touch of dress-up charm and appeal to everyday blouses and sweaters. Makes your going out dresses into the wardrobe of a society princess. And they're friggin' $2. Yeah, right. Oh, and I have the Topaz Birthstone, I guess. Okay, yes. The good old romance. I loved reading these. There was moments where I was like falling asleep while reading them. So they're not action-packed. And I was laughing the whole time while, just like here, I'm just laughing. I can't help it. But, I'm a nerd. I'm a dork. Okay, so next is Young Love number 42. And then we have, From the moment I saw you just before the operation, I've loved you, Anna. You with your golden hair, your blue eyes. And then, he's describing me. Yes, Jem. Oh, then that's Jem here. Here we go. This is Boys Are Fools. And then this these two sisters. This one older sister telling her younger sister that boys are stupid and boys are like trolley cars. Another one comes along every 5 minutes. But her little sister doubts that Jane is so cold and cynical about boys. I wonder if I'll ever be like her when I'm her age. So now they're listening to, sorry, what is this? March, April of 1964. So this, this might be, I don't know if the Beatles had come to America yet. But they're sure dancing like they're getting down to the Beatles. Oh, no. They're I know what that is. That is Chubby Checkers. Twist again like we did last summer. It's not the twist, but it's the twisting again like we did last summer. So they're twisting, or it could be um, Sam Cooke. It could be twisting the night away. Was that? I don't know if that was 64 or not. I'm not sure, but I really like Sam Cooke a lot. But I know he was early 60s. Anyway, sorry. It's for a whole nother YouTube. And then, yeah, this is, so she's, telling her sister, she's telling her, giving her more advice about boys, because boys are fools. And, I think of romance as something wonderful and joyous, but you think of it as a war, a battle of the sexes, a question who's going to defeat whom. And then she says, tells her a story. See if your heartless vampire sister really steered you wrong. One day, you'll see I was right. You forget I, too, once had stars in my eyes. You mean Jerry? Yes, dear old Jerry. How I worshipped the ground he walked on. Well, you know what happened. Sally Eberl? Sally Eberl. Eberl? I don't know. Arrived in town. Oh, the new girl in town. But in her defense, Sally is way hotter than her. So who went to Jerry's prom? Who got his frat pen? You guessed it, Sally. I cried my heart out for months. Then one day something dawned on me, and I stopped crying. That's when she became evil. Her tainted heart. And let's see. So then we get Freddie here looking for her sister. Freddie's such a fool. But then the little sister. What's the little sister's name? Anyway. What does it matter? Phyllis, here we go. Phyllis decides to go out. They go to the bayou. I guess this story takes place in New Orleans. And they go to the bayou and have a great time. I don't think they're twisting. Maybe they're dancing to Earth Angel. I think that's a 50s song. I need to quit guessing what songs were hits in 1964. So they kiss, and then she tells, and then Jane's PO'd because she thinks Phyllis has stolen her man from her. And then she says, but Jane, you weren't at all interested in him. You gave him a complete brush off. You little fool, you know what my technique is. I was just playing hard to get. I happen to be crazy about Freddie. That's why he hasn't called me in 10 days. You've been making a play for him. Boy, Phyllis, your sister is a wacko. Fast forward, Phyllis and Freddie are married, and Jane is out of luck. The end. Romance and fashion. Now we have A Deal with Love. What is this one? I can't remember what this one was. Sorry. I'm trying to refresh my memory about this one. No, this is awkward. I can't remember this one. Yeah, sorry. I really can't remember this one. I'm sure Marty. A kiss to make. Oh, Marty, please love me. Okay, sorry. I'm going to skip this one because I can't remember this one. I feel like a jerk. Sorry. I swear I read it. That may have been one that I was falling asleep to while I was reading it. So now we have this story where God, Anna, is that her name? Anyway, the nurse, yes, Nurse Anna here. She has this new nurse come in. This is weird, but the nurse has low self-esteem and thinks she's ugly. And right off the bat, Anna, meet the Venus of County General Hospital, the face that patients and MDs flip over, Mary Robin. And Mary Robin is the nurse here, RN. She says, no wonder you are beautiful, not a funny little rag doll like me. It's weird to say about yourself. So she goes on about how pretty she is and how ugly she is. And then we meet the greatest patient for an ugly nurse, a blind man. And the blind man thinks the last person he saw before surgery or whatever was Mary. Is that her name? Mary Robin, yeah. So the last person he saw before surgery was Mary Robin, so he thinks Anna, ugly Anna, she doesn't look bad. I keep calling her ugly. She looks pretty hot. And then, once again, there's a lot of, like, forcible kissing in these comics, which, yeah, that's not okay. I don't care what time period or what decade you're in. I don't think forcible kissing was ever acceptable. So he falls in love with ugly Anna, which she looks pretty hot anyway. So now they're out, hanging out in off hours, and then we get this jerk Will Ames again trying to get, why do you keep fighting me, Mary? You know what we mean to each other. I do. I mean just fun to you, and you mean just heartache to me. That's exactly why I don't want to see you anymore, Will. Will Ames, you SOB. I hate him. So now, at night, before he gets the bandages off, he kisses Anna one last time. But then Anna doesn't want to see him. So Mary Robin has to break it to him. They're like, she don't want to see you. And then she says, I can never face him again. Never, never. She looks pretty hot there. I don't know. That's what I kept thinking through the whole story. Like, she's pretty hot. Whatever. So now, this is so funny. Sorry. So now he's leaving the hospital, and he's like, I'll never see her again. Technically, you never seen her in the first place. Anyway, okay. So then he's like, going to go catch a train, and then he says, oh, it's too late. I'll never see her again. There's no medicine for heartbreak. Good news. The train he was in just wrecked. Train wreck just outside of town. Everyone is an emergency call. So then they have to go rescue everybody in the train wreck. And it's awful. But thank God it happened. Don't ever run away from me again. I have nowhere to go. Your heart is my home. The end. Thank God for that train wreck. And now, absolutely, and yours almost as a gift. Okay, here we go. So, absolutely free and exclusive 8x10 of Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. And yours almost as a gift, Cleopatra tote bag. Only $1.98. No extras to play. Includes postage and handling. Boy, that must have been just a piece of junk. But what you're really wanting is this picture of Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. Very strange. The hairdo tote. So, I forgot to rate the last one. I rate them both. They're both good. I like them. Like I said, I was falling asleep through while reading them because they're pretty boring, but they're fun. I said, Silver Age, DC. I enjoy it. They have funny little parts in them, like the man who can't see, and then he leaves the girl, and you think, oh, we'll never see him again. And then fate steps in and wrecks his train. And now we have Young Love 47. This is Young Love 47 in January, February 1965. By this time, I think the Beatles had tried marijuana. Was that Help? Was Help 65? Had to be. Somewhere around there. Or no, I guess this would have been like Beatles for Sale. Maybe this was Hard Day's Night. Anyway. Try to judge my 60s timeline on what Beatles album was popular. So this is Christmas. This girl and her boyfriend are doing up the tree, and then her sister comes home, and then she's like, "Oh, great, my sister's here." And then she's like, "Forgive me, please." And she's like, "Oh, there's nothing to forgive." And then the guy's like, "No, glad to have you back." Why is he so glad to have her back? And then we flash back to what happened one night. Her sister starts making out with her boyfriend. And, so she's just all torn up. Lost her sister, lost her boyfriend. But then, the boyfriend wins her back, tells her that he's not in love with her sister anymore. And then we flash forward to the present, and she's like, "Why are you back?" And she goes, "I came back because I've met someone, Thea, and I'm in love. For the first time, at least, I think I am. But I had to find out if there was anything to the feeling I once had for Ken." And then a fight broke out. No, I'm just joking, but yeah, it's weird. Okay, and then this was super strange. This is like a secretary who is in love with her boss, and then she's like dictating his like little tape, dictaphone tape or whatever. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the 60s technology, but then he's recounting how much he loves this one girl, and when she's in my arms, the world's on fire. Sorry, I love it. And then she keeps thinking of them getting married. Sex on the beach? I'm not sure. Okay. And then in the end, he's just like, I was joking. Of course it's you, you sweet, darling, adorable, jealous little witch. Come here. And she's like, "Oh, Paul, I'll never be jealous of you again. In that case, here." Weird. Oh, man. As Jane Ford sees it. So this one's like, whoa, dude. I'm a boy of 18 and deeply in love with a girl of 13. You're going to jail. My problem is, I want to marry her, but her parents won't even let me see her. Yeah, I would friggin' murder you. My daughter's 3, so that means in 10 years, a friggin' 18-year-old's going to be chasing after her? No, I'm going to kill you. As a result, our meetings have to be in secret. Anger. She loves me very much and wants to marry me. We are thinking of eloping in a few months. Could you give us some advice about this? That's kidnapping. Dear Wayne, the only advice I can give you about your plans for a forthcoming elopement, don't do it. I repeat, don't do it. These are my reasons. At 18, I am sure that you are mature enough to know what you want of love and marriage, but think, Wayne, were you mature enough at the age of 13 to make such a fateful decision regarding your future life? Of course you weren't. Then why do you assume that she is? Blah, 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 blah. You're going to jail. Blah, blah, blah. Her father is going to murder you as soon as he reads this. Blah, 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 blah. There is one more thought I have on the subject. A marriage that has the approval of everyone concerned. And by that, I mean referring to the sets of parents, the uncles, cousins, and aunts. Okay, well, she's wrong about that. It doesn't matter what the aunts and uncles, cousins think. Has a better chance of succeeding than the marriage that is frowned upon by almost everyone, but the two people directly involved. There are enough problems involved in adjusting to each other without the added heartache of disapproval. Wait! You won't be sorry you did. That's as I see it, Jane Ford. Later that year, Wayne was murdered by the girl's father. Okay. Cry for love. So this is a super strange one too. This is another Mary Robin RN story, and we got Will Ames again. What a doll. Looks like there's a fire burning underneath that starched uniform. Mary Robin is nothing more than a machine-marked nurse with a mechanical heart. You couldn't detect a beat in it with a stethoscope. These doctors, dirty, dirty doctors. And that's freaking Will Ames again. Okay. Oh, and here she is at the beach with freaking Will Ames. And she knows what he's wanting. Not wanting to marry you. So, yeah. So she's has a nurse that is in her dormitory. And the nurse tells her that, Vic, I'm supposed to meet with him today at the South Pier, but I can't face him. So this woman is dating this captain, the sea captain, and for some reason she won't visit him. I don't know. I guess she hasn't gotten a note from him, so she sends Mary Robin along to see him. And yes, this is weird. Sailors. So she's telling him like, hey, and then she's like, Connie sent me to tell you to come back to her or whatever. I'm Mary Robin. Connie and I are nurses at County General. She was so exhausted after an emergency shift. She asked me to meet you. She's frightened to see you. Arr, that's typical of her. She's frightened to face the truth, so she sent you to bring it to her second hand. No, you're mistaken. She loves you like a pet. She wants to keep on a leash. And then another forcible kiss, which is once again very wrong. Tell her I'm not a pet. Tell her I'm a man. Smack. And she should probably call the cops. But she doesn't. And the guy starts running away. You're right. I don't need anyone to carry messages. She did you. I'll tell her myself. Wait, stop the car. Look out. Oh, no. Crash. And he gets hit. Now they're bringing him to the hospital so the woman can see him. And it's very weird. And he's all like mad at this Connie. No, Mary, you must go, please. You know, head injuries mustn't be excited if your presence is what he needs to help him get better. Please go. For me, Mary, for me. I ask you to go because you're a nurse and you're needed. And she says, I'm here as a nurse. I'm also here as a woman. I don't know what that means. And well, another forcible kiss. And nursing running. Oh, and here we are. Enter jerk Will Ames. A nurse running away from her case. What happened to Mary Robin, the woman who never forgets that she's a nurse? Screw you, Will Ames. Oh, and then once again, seems like Connie and the captain will never be together again. And then, fate intervenes one last time, and there's a fire. And Connie and Mary Robin help the captain out. And at the end, thank God for the fire. Now they are reunited and in love again. Glamour wigs, colors and styles. Got one last one. Yeah, so give it a good. I love those. Yeah, this one's in some bad shape. It's been repaired, taped, stapled. And that's Young Love, number 47. A lot of forcible kissing in the 60s, I guess. Not good. My dad was a Vietnam veteran, and he did not have a good time in the 60s. A lot of people always talk about how great the 60s were. They were not good for my dad. So, I just kind of grew up thinking that the 60s sucked because of all the 60s sucked stories. Okay. We have Young Romance, number 130. I just love this cover. This guy. Oh, man. Meet Bonnie Taylor, the lovely airline stewardess who flies in and out of romantic adventures. Oh, this is maybe the best story of them all. Inviting trouble. Louise, Jerry won't tell you because he doesn't want to hurt you, but I have to be honest. Jerry and I love each other. So we have Louise and Jerry, and they're very much in love, so much in love that they're making out while at the airport. They're going to go pick up her evil cousin, Trudy. And so they're already where did she say that? Okay. So she introduces, I proudly introduce Jerry. Welcome to the big city, Trudy. My, but he's handsome, Louise, and big and strong and successful and rich, but I adore him anyway. You probably shouldn't tell that to your evil cousin. So we have evil cousin moves in with Louise, and Louise and Jerry are having a hard time having time to themselves because of Trudy. And then Louise, one day I received an unexpected assignment at the newspaper. See you tonight. I have to cover a conference on education. Why not take Trudy out to dinner? Okay, honey, if you insist. That's weird. Why would you? Anyway. It was very late when the conference ended. I assumed that Trudy would be asleep, so I opened the door very quietly. How thoughtful of Trudy to leave the lights on so I wouldn't stumble over anything. I tiptoed towards the living room. Oh no! You told him to take her out! What do you think was going to happen? So she goes back to the coffee shop because she's devastated, and I guess the coffee shop is open in the middle of the night. And, so Trudy, evil Trudy. And then what's strange is she continued to let Trudy live in her apartment. She didn't kick her out. And Trudy's even like friggin' smoking in her apartment. I don't know. It's weird. Basically this Trudy comes in, steals her man, and then she's like, you paid 2 months, advance rent. It's okay to stay, even though you've ruined my life. And I'm super depressed. And now you're smoking in my apartment. And then we fast forward and see that sorry. So this guy shows up to date Trudy, and then she's like, "What did you say?" And she's like, "She's Jerry's girl now." She's like, "Doug McKay, what a charming name. I'm so pleased to meet you." Louise thinks I'm Jerry's girl because I played a little joke on her. Why, I'm unattached and free as a bird. That's where Skinner got it from. Okay, they didn't. What did you say? I heard you come in that night. I kissed Jerry for a joke. He didn't kiss me. Now I want to see Mr. McKay alone, if you don't mind. Like, that makes her even more evil. Why do you continue to let her live with you? And then we have flowers for Louise. Sign here, please. Wait. Or what? For me? Oh, thank you. And then she realizes her and Jerry's love never died. And she rushes into Jerry's arms. Welcome home, darling. Yeah, just weird. Oh my God, weird story. Yeah, and we're right on to another weird story. So this lady here, hot little, tasty little redhead here, is a widow, and this guy keeps trying to date her, and he doesn't get it. He's like, what's the deal? She doesn't want nothing to do with me. And looks like they're listening to jazz. Still doesn't want nothing to do with him, but he can't quit thinking about her. Sorry. Her silence infuriated me. I turned on the radio to drown out the quiet. I can't figure her out. So maybe that's turned up the Dave Brubeck. I don't know. Or that. What was that? I'm trying to think of that famous white horn player, Chet. I don't know. Chet something. Chet White horn player. I don't know. Okay, so, and then, this is great. So he's like, my friend Jack Daly knew all about Mary. Don't feel bad, Dan. The grapevine has it that she doesn't give any of her admirers much of a tumble. Although I must admit that she's unusually rough on you. I've dated her myself a few times, and even I know the taste of those pretty lips. Dang, dude. Like, rough. What a great friend he is. Yeah, man, everybody's been with her except for you. I don't know why she doesn't much care for you, but yeah, everybody's been with her. But not you. Thanks. And then he comes to Mary's house, and then they embrace. And I couldn't let myself get involved with you for fear I love you and want to and be hurt by you. And I didn't want to suffer any more hurt. Up here. My husband was killed in an accident a year later. I started going out with men to escape memories of the past. I never wanted to fall in love again. At the party, I thought I was just another girl to you. And when you didn't call for so long, I was sure of it. And then we can begin life all over again. Yes, darling. Good. Laura Penn. I just love the look on this guy's face. Yeah. No Home for My Heart. And this is starring this flight attendant. I can't remember her name. Bonnie? Bonnie Taylor. And so Bonnie Taylor is with her friend. And her friend is flying off to Acapulco to meet this. I love that. That's nice. Flying off to Acapulco to meet this actor, famous actor, and sorry, I was just thinking of something else. Sorry. And kind of find out that Bonnie Taylor wins some sort of chance to be in a movie with him, and her friends jealous, and they so Bonnie and the actor are kissing and surfing and watching a man dive from a cliff. Watch the famous high divers of Acapulco. Now we're at the set, and Bonnie Taylor and this actor Clark kiss, and then I didn't blame the director. It was obvious to everyone on the set it was fake. Cut! I knew she wasn't the type. We have to stop shooting until we find someone who can look and feel the part. And luckily, her friend, who is nuts about this actor, is asked to step in for her and kiss the actor. And the director says, I had a hunch your friend would have no trouble filling the part. Once I glanced at this unsigned love letter she dropped. It reads like she'd written dozens of them to Clark. What a loser! You had no right. They're private. They make me sound like a silly little schoolgirl. And then Clark here. Do you know how long I've been looking for the one who wrote those unsigned love letters to me? I've put her before everyone I ever looked at. And now I've found her. Well, that was nice of him. So now, poor exit Bonnie Taylor. She rides off into the plane back to her silly little airline stewardess job. And now we have in future issues of this magazine, we will have more thrilling romantic adventures. Can't wait. And I forgot to see what year this was. This is 64, July 64. Oh man, this may have been like, would have been From Me to You or something. I don't know. Quit thinking about Beatles songs, but anyway. I'm trying to think what summer of 64. Maybe She Loves You or something. Anyway, give it a good. Love these. They're fun. I fall asleep reading them, like I said earlier, but very fun. All right, that's it. So we had all these here. Bunch of goods. And then a Scooby-Doo that I don't know where I put it. There we are. Bunch of goods. Yeah, it's very fun reading all these. I enjoy them. I get a little bored, but I still enjoy them. They're very fun. All right, everyone. Keep on collecting.